Yeah, can you hear me this time? Hello? I think they were talking about LO extraction. What is the step we have done? What is the step we have done? Then we perform some steps. When we have installed the data source, then we have maintained the extract structure. Now I am supposed to fill the data to setup table. I have just installed the data source. I have maintained the extract structure. I think, right? I just completed this. Anybody, any questions? Chavi? Anybody? Right. I'm just trying to fill the data to setup tables. I told you when you are maintaining extract structure, system generates setup tables. They are used as part of setup tables are used as part of full and initialization. If it is delta mechanism. So let me do that. I just want to do that. I just want to fill the data to setup tables. Right. So log into our system. Go with SBI. So we are trying to fill data related to logistics, sales orders, and we are uploading data related to sales order item to the BW system. So that's what settings for application specific data sources. We have to go by logistics. We have to go by managing extract structures, and we have to go by initialization. And this is filling in the setup table. You can see here, and the application specific setup of statistics or data items. And what's your application? Sales orders. The application that we are filling data to is sales orders data. Just go on with execute. Just go on with execute. Now the name of the run is going by. So what is this name of the run? It is just to identify your filling of the setup tables. The name of the run. And we have to maintain termination time in the future. Why it is in the future? Since it is a background job. I told you from the document tables the data must be filled to setup tables. This is a background job. From the document tables, using ECS, the data is filled to setup tables during full and initialization. If it is full or initialization, always the setup tables are filled. That's what I need to say. Right. So that's what I'm doing, which is a background job. It is a background job. After running for some time, it has to be terminated. So that's what the That's what the time I have to mention here now. So it is showing as of now 1953. So I'm just making it to some 10 minutes time. I'm just giving to the system. Just giving some 10 minutes time. 0, 8, so I've just given some future time to the system to terminate the job. After running for this much time, the job will be terminated. See, if all the documents are filled, well and good. If at all any document which is not filled, if at all any document which is not filled, right, if at all any document is there which is not filled to the setup tables, which will be collected as part of your first daily job. So just go with execute and click on documents and click on just starting. I told you we are supposed to fill the data from document tables to setup tables. If at all within the given time, if at all any document is missing without posting to your setup tables, so the document will be collected as part of your first data, which we need not to worry. Running now. So now from the setup name, from the document tables, the data is filled to your setup tables. From the document tables using ECS, now system is filling data to setup tables. This is the step we are performing. Now I'm supposed to check the extractor. So let us check the extractor. I'll just open a new session. RSV3. So the data source name tool is underscore 11 underscore VA item, since we are extracting document item data. Just go with, so you just change the display first. So put the more than 1000 records, just making it to 100 into 1000 up to 1 lakh. Extract. Still the background job running. You can see this job going on. Now I'm trying to verify still the records, whether it is able to extract the data or not. Just trying to check it. So it says 5766 records. So once again just click on extract. So it is running at the system. Yeah, now it is still 6976. The job is going on still. Still the job is running. For 9000. The job will keep on doing. Let it be. Meanwhile, let us replicate this data source. Let's follow our next step. I just want to replicate this data source to BW system. Log into your BA system. Just log into your BA system. So go to source system. Display data source. I can find your data source. Since it is a business content data source, it could be there. You can see here. Just 1 second. Right click. First of all, see, this is our data source. Take a right click on this. Go with replicate metadata. That will replicate metadata. Right. Just right click, change the data source. It has to be activated. Change the data source, activate. That's okay. So you say some field is incompatible with the data source. Right. So we have just replicated the data source. We have just copied the data source to database system. Right. Now what to do? We can install a concern info cube, otherwise we can create a generic info cube. So anything is fine. So if you want to get the concern business content info cube, you can just go to business content, BA content. So you know your data source name, which you know your info source name. I don't have 7.info sources delivered by SAP here. I don't have 7.0 info sources. So what I'll do, I'll try to find through 3.x info source and use in data flow afterwards, which is going to show you what is the concerned data target which is feeding data by this data source. 1 second, I'm just changing the data flow, in data flow afterwards. So it's going to show you concerned data target. 12 underscore 11 underscore item transfer selection. Selected, it's not selected, it's 12 underscore 11 underscore item. Transfer selections. With in data flow afterwards, now it's going to collect even the objects also and the info providers also. Otherwise, we can create a generic info cube. So it is filled. Now let us check once the job is done. How many records are there in your setup table? How many records are there in your setup table? Just you can verify it. Still the disbursement and collection is going on. Otherwise, let's do like this. Generic, we'll go for generic. Still taking some time. So there are many fields. Yeah, maybe I might have a few columns. So it is running. So I don't want to go like this. I mean, it's going to be running. I just want to show you what could be, how to find your business content info cube related to your data source. Just come to your 3.x info source. So since the info source name, data source name is same in 3.5. Data source in R3 system, with respect to the data source in R3 system, the info sources are delivered in BAB of the system in 3.5 with same name. So if you go with in data flow afterwards, it's going to give you what are the concerned data targets which are feeding data from your data source. So that's why I'm just showing you once. It's going to give you the concerned data target directly which you can install. So it takes a little while, no problem, but still, I just want to go ahead like this. This is the rating. These are the columns. For each column, what is the relevant BAB in the column, you can just find it. I told you there is a table. What is the table? Anybody? How to find your BA content column from respect to source column? Anybody? Yeah, RSOS field map. That's what. You can just find your consent fields now. So go back new session. SS6 field, RSOS, field map, contents. Now I can just give this column name, execute. So you can see it can be mapped to 0 record mode. So this is info cube. I don't want to have this 0 record mode. This is info cube. You can just if you want to make it a 0 store number, you can just go by 0 store number. So let's create info cube, generic info cube. I'm just trying to create. Let me create this. So RSA 11 info providers. Go to info areas. Right click on info cube. Right click on info area, create info cube. click on create. Right. Now you can just find from all info objects, you can find the required case. If the object is not active, you can just activate from business content. 0 stored number, that's the column name. So that's what it is there already. So I'm just making it to one particular dimension and create one more dimension and change the description split. Let me create the required dimension, just creating from 4 dimensions for 5 dimensions. I'll just change the description split. Right, next. What is the next column? Go to your data source. VBLN, face doc number. So that is the VBLN, face doc number must be mapped to 0 doc number. So this is what 0 doc number. So you can just find the consent column. So sales doc number, I'm just making it to the first dimension. Next column. So what is the next column? See. So you can just find update rules. Update rules in the 3.5. Let's select it. Yeah. Info cube. 303. There are many info cubes. 301, 305, 303, C10. We have to select the required info cube, which is very much relevant. This is 003 sales order state. 0SB C03 sales order state. 301 customer. So mostly these two map with 303 only. So now you can install 305 offers and orders, sales overview. So the offers and orders, since it is related to sales orders, better we map it to sales orders, 305 info. This is a business common info cube. If you want to install, you can just go like that. Otherwise, you can create and generate info cube like this. So the next column, what is the next column? Display data source. So here is an item. Let's find the column first. Execute. You can see 0s underscore body underscore item. You can just find the respective column. This will tell us item. Let's drag and drop. Next, item building, sales document, company code. I just want to map this. You can just go on like this here. It's going to take out a lot of time. Just mapping only few of the columns. Just select execute. This is 0 company code. Must be there. You can just find your relevant column. Company code, just drag and drop to consent dimension. Back. Next column. Anybody any questions? Local currency. It will be automatically inserted. Need not to worry since it is a referencing object. Sold to party QUNNR. QU. And then execute. Complicated. Customer. Making it to customer. And map it to customer. Build to party I'm making this. Right. Next column. Let's find an input into column. change rate time, statistics fancy, sales of your sales group, credit on wage units, cumulative confirm the quantity, cumulative confirm the quantity. I'm just going by this. Okay. The column is not active, it will install. It's not available. Yeah, it is there. I'm not making use of both the PCBs. The resourcing must be inspected. Yeah, there's a lot of measure as well as sales units. Then, next column. Storage locations. So like this you have to map all the columns up. Like this shape. This is fiscal year variant, that is also important. Fiscal year variant. Text script. 0 fiscal year variant which I am making it to time phase. Fiscal year variant which I am making it to time phase. There are some unusual dimension fixings in this one. Alright. So like this we are supposed to find the relevant columns. Now even we have to map it. Let's activate first. So this is all, it's going to take out a lot of time. It's a lot of time consuming process. Mapping and all in 3.5. So we used to go by just proposals where all the mapping is going to be automatic. Select. Activate it. Right click, create transformation, the mapping now, data source, browse and choose your data source. Browse and choose your data source, item data source, continue. Now you have to map. So this is the hectic task. Store number, data store number. See which I want to map it to. RO cancel. Reversal indicator. Document number. Right sales document item. And DUKRS company code. Then partner company code and all, that's okay. Not mapping it. Sold to party and just mapping it to there is a party. Cumulative confirm the quantities. Cumulative confirm the quantity. Right, next one, time care, which is mandatory. So like this, we are supposed to map the columns. Then click on activate. So those columns which are not mapped, just continue. So this is the hectic task in 7 now. Finding, remaining all easy, but finding the relevant columns and mapping to them is the hectic task. In 3.5 it was very easy. It was very easy since you are going to get all the relevant columns automatically. In 7 you don't have info source concept. That is the issue. So on 3.x info source still you can create, but still the mapping we have to do it manually. The mapping must be done manually. Right, now the mapping is done. Now let's go on with info package. I just want to go on with info package. There are already somebody has created info package, but still if you have done installation, it's going to cause some issues. Yeah, it's not done no issues. Right, okay. I just want to go for right click on data source, create info package. So ls underscore level underscore item save status data. Go with save, continue, no problem. See data targets already. See the mapping is done, you don't have to worry about this. Extraction, update, that's what you have to go by initialize delta process. I have to take up initialize delta process. Then schedule start. And sometime back already installation is done, that's what it is giving. See, already somebody has done this, that is the reason why you are getting this problem. Otherwise normally if it is a fast installation, you don't get this problem. Just run the installation. So go with monitor. Execute. It takes a little while. It has to transfer all the data. This takes a little while. It's going to collect all the data from setup tables now. Successful. There are 14,538 records. Now let us create DTP. Already somebody has created DTP. If you want to create a new DTP, right click on info cube, create DTP. Just continue. Activate. Execute. Click on execute. So we have just done installation. Now what to do? Anybody any questions? Any questions, Shiva? Any questions? Anybody can hear me? Guys, are you there? Right. So I just want to go for now. See, we have done insulation. From the source system, I have just completed insulation. Now I just want to collect deltas. What is delta? Right. So logistics. I have given a separate document. If you can refer to that, it's going to give you lot of information. Logistics, delta, updates. So what is delta? Change in the source. It can be any kind of change in the source since the last load. Since the last load. Change in the source since the last load. For collecting LO deltas, logistics deltas, for collecting LO deltas, there are three types of delta mechanisms. There are three types of delta mechanisms. One is Q delta, one is Q delta, second one direct delta, third one unserialized V3 update. Unserialized V3 update. So apart from this, earlier we were having something called serialized V3 update. Due to timestamp errors, it is removed. Earlier we were having serialized V3 update. Due to timestamp errors, the serialized V3 update is removed. So these are the three types of delta mechanisms. Q delta, direct delta, unserialized V3 updates. So apart from this, you got something called serialized V3 update, that due to timestamp errors, it is removed, which I'll take up in the next session. See, this is the step. Normally all these steps are common, but when it comes to mapping, finding relevant info cube, otherwise finding relevant BA business content column is the hectic task. The process is same, but it takes a lot of time. You have to wait for the things. That's what I mean to say. The process is common. It's very, very important.